I sing because I'm happy, and I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow.
Oh my God, what's this?
And I sing happy, and I sing happy, and I sing happy, and I sing.
Warning: the Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Thought Crimes. This is your girl, Sincere Ignorance, and I'm here with Prince Solomon, of course. Just want to give a shout out to the kid DJ L for the intro music. And also, Prince, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're back at it again. This is your man, Prince Solomon, in the building. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's good. And I have to give it to Drake. Drake, out of both of these niggas, dropped the hottest banger. Thank you, Drake.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Well,
thank you, Drake. Thank you.
I think the fan in Drake, I don't even think this was like a malicious leak. I think he dropped it on OVO radio, and I think he knew it was a banger to look. I mean, this track by Kanye West and Andre 3000 is amazing. I did cry to it. I'm not going to lie. It felt like pure hip hop. It was a purity to it. It literally, the track is better than both albums.
It is. Look, I cannot and will not deny. I told Sin, didn't I tell you a couple days ago? I said, baby, I feel something's about to go down with Outkast. I said at the edge of the bed, I felt all of this strong Outcastian energy. Now I know it's the 25th anniversary of their classic ATLians, one of my favorite albums of all time,
damn time. Where'd you find this?
Andre 3000, he wore his verses out on that album.
Right,
and so we got it right now.
I gotta say it's a 10 out of 10 track. Life of the Party is an amazing track. It had purity in it. I felt his mother's spirit on it. And I don't know, I have to say, to be honest with you, this is why, it reminded me why I even fell in love with hip hop to begin with. We know it's been overly commercialized.
Right.
We know just a lot of things has gone backwards with certain aspects of rap music, even before we get to the now, even that started in the mid 90s. But I gotta say, man, Life of the Party, talking about, you know, how important parents are, talking about when you hold on to grudges, like when Andre 3000 talked about both of his parents dying of heart situations, complications. I mean, it was literally like a pure, perfect hip hop track. Like when we talk about Airmatic, it's like one of those perfect hip hop albums, or just albums, period. Like that song it was just very pure.
This is why. Let's get to it. I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready. And this is why the Canadian immigrant snowwalking king, I told you all yesterday, he does not know how to lyrically and artistically approach this nigga from Chicago. How the hell can you get this boy up out of here who has throwaway who has just shit sitting around like this? Come on, think about it. He's just a crazy king with just gold everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a leak. It wasn't a whack track. It wasn't even if you're trying to show that Kanye West is being sassy with me, which I gotta give it to Kanye West. He did make me laugh.
Oh yeah, when he talked about South Park, that shit was funny.
And he told Drake
they could all eat a dick.
And he told Drake, he says, "Don't mess with me. I put that on GD."
Yeah, but
I put that on GD.
I actually think I'm gonna come with a different angle. I know everybody's
You
gonna
come with your angle, Sin, later.
No, they're gonna come with an angle that they feel like Drake
you,
was trying to sabotage, but
I don't think he was trying to sabotage.
I think he was like, fuck, this is a good fucking track. I gotta or OVO Radio gotta get on it early. It's like there's nothing you can do or say to that type of fucking record.
Sin, I got another angle up under that angle, around that angle, behind that angle.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, talk about this now. Do I think Drake is visibly irritated with Kanye? Of course. Like, think about it. Drake didn't come in. He didn't really want to stand next to Jay-Z and all of his, Lime, all of that, 5 Mexican raps. He didn't want to do that. It's kind of boring. It's kind of leave that to the pork chop sidebar and Benny the Butcher. That's for them niggas. If you want to inspire yourself out of the dope trap, the Jeezy, the Rick Rosses, all that. If you want to stand next to Hov, you can have that, right? Drake wanted to stand next to Kanye West. Kanye West was everything in hip hop, people. In fact, this track reminds you why it's so hard to get this person to get canceled. I know a lot of people have tried, but I used to say you're not going to be able to cancel Kanye West because he does represent Black America.
Well, he has a
right. He comes from
every time you're about to throw him out, he gives you some heart chakra shit.
And what I mean by that is this: I'm not saying that Kanye West is the blackest man walking, but people feel like he's family. That's what they feel like. He makes family music. Soul music, soul food, right? With Mama, Madea, soul food music. Not Madea, Tyler Perry. I'm talking about the real Madea. I'm talking about the one that's a woman. Come on.
It's just like you think about grandpa, grandma.
There you go.
You think about your mom, your dad. You think about cookouts.
I'll tell you something. This is what yesterday some of y'all was getting them. Strategy King, I don't know if you was one of them. But I said, hey man, I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. To the Dondians out there. Look, a lot of this stuff that's on Donda, it sounds like leftovers from Yeezus, right? But this track here, because Sin told me, she said, have you heard the Andre 3000 Kanye track? I said, I heard that somebody was recording it through a hot wire. That's when I heard it. But I didn't hear the complete track. So I was waiting, right? But when I listened to it, I says, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Right. Some soul.
I haven't had a rap single that touched my heart chakra in a very, very, very long time. Like other musical scores, yes, classical music, some jazz compositions, absolutely. But I haven't cried for anything in rap and hip hop in a really, 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 really long time. This Kanye track featuring Andre 3000 and also ended off with the DMX talking to his daughter. I cried for literally 5 minutes.
And I'll tell you this, and that's what it's supposed to do. That's what people didn't understand. Now, look, there may be some songs that some people with Drake, they felt that with him. Right? Because Drake he plays with the heart chakra. That's why I said this is the most Care Bear packaged beef I have seen in a long time. Right? It's not, neither one of them really coming with any hate. They're really trying to like, I don't know, it's weird. They're kind of trying to like suffocate each other with love. It's kind of weird. It's like who can out love or show their display of love the best. Sorry, Kanye West goes into a whole nother zone. When Sam said about crying and the emotionality, this is what we were talking about when it came to the first album, College Dropout.
And late registration and graduation, that little cute little bear.
Y'all gotta understand. I know for me, when I heard Family Business, okay, and even when he was talking about even the 1 minute and 10 second track on I'll Fly Away, just that whole church soul energy, right? That's the stuff that people love about Kanye West. The Last Call off of College Dropout. This track reminded me of that. And for a long time, people have been saying, man, Kanye and 3 Stack should do something. Y'all remember that, right? They even had that Colure thing where it was Pharrell, Kanye West, 3 Stacks, and the umbrella nigga that Diddy was running around boinking, allegedly. I don't know. Don't get mad at me.
We don't know these things.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Conjecture.
Right?
Allegedly.
Okay. So when I was listening to the track, it reminded me of I'll Fly Away, The Last Call from the College Dropout. It reminded me of so much from Late Registration. It just reminded me of an era of Kanye that I don't necessarily wanted him to go back and just stay there, because artists need to grow, they have to grow. But I told Sin I had been tired of this black bald head skinhead music that's been going on lately.
I know you didn't like the Yeezus stuff.
The
Yeezus had two or three good tracks in it though.
It grew on me slowly, but it's not the first Kanye joint I would go for.
Blood on Leaves.
Yes.
New Slaves.
New Slaves.
Okay, maybe just 2. Yeah.
Let me see some here. While you
I had 2 tracks on Yeezus that I like. But he brought it back with My Beautiful,
that's where I was messing with him again.
So
there we go. So this was definitely a beautiful track. It was also interesting though. When we talk about, like when Sin said she spoke about when she was crying, she was tearing up, and I saw her. I thought it was beautiful. I didn't say anything though, because I don't want to seem like I'm trolling. I never do that when someone's heart chakra is exposed like that. Because
I don't care. I mean, I cry to art that touches me. I don't feel a certain way about that.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of a conversation. I think the last time I was really moved with that, ironically, was with Kanye West, and I think I can't play Tupac's Unconditional Love. Right? That's where you see me Drake out. I'm all right. Let me do that for later. Right now, but Kanye West, and specifically for me personally, more so having to do with Andre 3000's verse, and he was talking to the spirit of Dondo in the track.
That was beautiful.
I thought classic Andre 3000, poetic as hell. Also, Drake is of that branch as well.
Underrated lyricist, I tell you.
When you talk about Speaker Box and The Love Below, a majority of this era is supremely influenced by the Love Below half of that Outkast album.
Right, and also quick correction. You're right, Eli. Yeah, we're getting our wires crossed. Yeezus came after My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Correct. Yeah.
Who said that?
Eli. He's
right. Thank you, Eli. We appreciate you. Thank you.
But going back to your point, Prince, you were saying some real shit.
Oh yeah, I remember a guy. I had an argument one time with a dude in Atlanta, and it was when I was going back and forth. And I did tell them, I said, no, I'm not trying to be funny. Outkast is my favorite group. Period. Right. But I do know for this era, the Love Below has influenced a lot of people, including a majority of Drake's career as well. So that's what I said, when people think about who is Drake as a pedigree, you got LL Cool J, you got some admixture loosely of Nelly, some Ja Rule-ish energy, 3 Stacks. You guys got to remember around that time when because remember they was prepping 3 Stacks, that people was like, yo, Andre, we think, they wanted him to have his own solo album, because him and Big Boy did a split joint venture with a double disc album, classic album to me personally. But around that time, remember, Pharrell was rapping more. He was going into more of a softer side. Lupe Fiasco was running around. Farnsworth Bentley talking about he was wanting to be a rapper. King Kanye was just tearing up the runway. Quietly around that time, to be quote-unquote a hard gangster nigga was going out of style. So people had to become more personal. And this is when you even saw 50 Cent soften up on The Massacre, when he said, I'll take you to the candy shop. And I just felt he was making gay bodybuilder music, but that's another story. But Andre 3000 did have a very profound influence on the likes of Kid Cudi. Drake spoke about this as well. And so for a long time, I almost would say a decade and a half, a lot of hip-hop connoisseurs have always wanted to hear Ye and 3 Stacks on a joint venture together, and sure enough, it didn't disappoint. The only thing I can say that the purpose of this for Drake is that if his name and Kanye keep turning up in the algorithm online, it keeps elevating Drake's property as well. I mean, if anything, it just adds to the story arc, and it keeps them competing with each other with first week streaming numbers. That's the only thing I can see. And Strategy King Sin loves a lot of shit from Kanye.
Strategy King
is trolling right now.
He is trolling. I think what people don't understand about me, if I like someone's stuff, that I'm not a stan to them though.
Right.
So if they say something stupid, short-sighted about Black Americans or Black people, we have our own mind. Yeah. I can still appreciate the art. I can still be a fair critic to them, meaning fair to their music, fair to the flaws, the ups and downs that they have as individuals, because people do become hypocrites and biased as if they don't have their own flaws and their own mistakes that they have done to themselves and to other people. So I try to come with that type of energy and attitude with any of these people.
Yeah, I would agree. So Strategy King is working with Kanye West too, folks. By the way, send him your demos. I said to Eli Walker, sound like he was about to say something.
Yeah, I really want to read his comment, because I've really been saying this to.
Go ahead.
No disrespect to Big Boy. It's disrespectful when people say Big Boy is on the same level as Andre 3000. They are being nice. Eli, I agree.
Support us.
Okay, let me address that.
I just want to say
Excuse you. I will address that.
I just real quick. I feel Andre 3000 is way more versatile, philosophical, emotionally more in depth. Big Boy gets busy. I think he's a great lyricist, and I think they have a beautiful synergy with each other. But Andre 3 Stacks, I mean, come on now.
Okay, wrap it up, Sin.
Let's just
wrap it up.
Go ahead.
You're not even from down there.
I don't have to be.
You're from Virginia.
And
let's talk about Pharrell and them big hats and the new black. Anyway, this is the only for those people who are Outkast fans. And not just simply 3000 fans. I don't have a problem with that, to be honest with you, but I used to have, not Sin sometimes, we just be joking. We kick our opinions around with each other, so I don't take nothing personal, and she doesn't either. But what I do say is, I can't think of it. Who was the girl? Was it Kabula?
Why are we bringing that girl up?
I think, was she the one that said, that, what's the little boys that they try to be Outkast Junior, and the music is just not as good, and I always felt like
they tried to say they was on the same level as Outkast.
Yeah, and I just
fucking no.
And I used to say, I'm not listening to them because go find your own identity. That was my issue with them. It wasn't that.
J. Cole, control your camp, please.
Yeah, well, I think free expression. I think JID was able to find his own expression, because people was like, "Are you a Kendrick clone?" And he went into a different territory. So when you hear JID, you hear Kendrick, you hear two different niggas. But I wasn't into that group. I can't think of their names right now. Y'all know who they are. But I used to say, "Find your own Earth Gang." Thank you, Kicking the Science. I appreciate you, Earth Gang. Kicking the Science. Thank you so much. Earth Gang is the group, right? So some lady said Earth Gang is like Outkast with 2 Andre 3000s. I says,
nope.
Nope. Because even they couldn't compete with 1 Andre 3000s. Or what?
It's fashion.
Thank you.
Fashion.
Fashionista.
Yes.
Thank you. So okay.
They look good in the Andre 3000 gear.
Yeah, the space nigga gear.
But
I mean, come on.
Lyrically,
stop it.
Classic.
Stop it.
It's a hell fucking no.
Yeah, because you showed me the. Okay, so anyway, this is the only thing I used to say about when people would the issue with Outkast fans. They would say they don't care if you love Andre. They don't care if you feel he's your favorite nigga. Stop shafting Big Boy is what their complaints were. Stop shafting Big Boy. So sometimes you get some of these nouveau riche hip hop niggas that'll be like, yeah, I mess with Outkast, but Big Boy is trash to me. You know, so you used to hear that a lot. And
can I just please?
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
Defend myself. I do not think Big Boy.
I never said you thought that.
No, not you. Because some people in the chat like it's disrespectful how people talk about Big Boy. I do agree with that. Big Boy has had a lot of memorable verses. Right. But go ahead, Prince.
Yeah, and that's really what the point is for me. Even when we was joking, that's it. I was just like, damn, like stop shitting on Big Boy though, bro. You can love one nigga and not hate the other. Can we do that? Can we not? Like, can we be like, yo, this?
But right. It's not hate. I do think people think brothers are brothers. If y'all have a good relationship, nobody opinion's gonna break y'all up. But Big Boy and Andre are extremely talented. But for my taste, it's like saying a duo that's on the basketball court. You could say like Kyrie Irving when he was with LeBron James had better ball handling skills. His ball handling skills are fucking crazy. But LeBron has the higher basketball IQ. Saying that doesn't mean that you're saying Kyrie isn't talented, or you're not saying LeBron isn't talented. You're just saying one excels to a higher level when it comes to a particular category.
I just feel like one has a more popular style.
Get out of here. You was just about to talk about...
No, I'm just...
Okay,
can I finish my point? I'm just going to say this real quick.
All right, and then I'll ask you a question after you say what you
I'm not trying to be funny, but usually when I actually don't really hear it from black people. I actually hear more of this from white folks. And I feel, for a lot of white people, sometimes Big Boy comes off too black and barbecue for them.
Oh my God, you put it off. That is not
too southern for them. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
Andre, that's blackism. And let me tell you why it's blackism.
Let me tell you.
Because Andre is just as black as Big Boy.
I'm not saying Andre's not black. I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying there is a misunderstanding of who Andre is. They actually probably think he's less black.
Well, I don't want to bring white people into this because they
the one that started the shit.
No, they didn't. Because we've been talking about in our community about Big Boy and Andre for a long time now.
Not really.
Yes, we have.
I'll say this.
From me, yes, I've seen it.
Okay, this is what I'll say. And bless the dead. But see, I don't have no memory swipe when it comes to rap music. I actually even remember niggas was like, damn, I fuck with Bun B, but that nigga Pimp C, he's a whack rapper.
But see, but then there was some dudes that be like, but Pimp got that smooth, like he better than. See, these conversations have always been at the cookout. So.
I'm just saying, I'm being honest with you now. I know the black people I hung around. Pimp C was their favorite nigga. They love Big Boy. They love Andre. I just feel like this.
Stop it, Prince. You know
the colonizers came into the fandom of Outkast and they started being divisive.
That's a lie because people,
and I stand on
people
that.
used to say, "Yo,
President Carter."
No, there was people at the cookout saying, "Why Andre's so weird?" Stop it. We was having these conversations before white people even got involved.
Hold on now. Now they said they thought Andre dressed gay.
They did, and they questioned some other shit.
Hold on, but they found out that he was with Erykah Badu. And she did that. Once people found out who the suspect was, when we saw Common switch up too, because she gave him leftover Andre gear.
Right, but you bringing in white people to try to sway black people's opinion. My whole thing, look.
I bring in white people because I want to talk about them.
My whole point is just to get focused on what we was talking about, Prince. Andre 3 Stacks. Are you saying that Big Boy would have brought the same energy to this track? Let's just start there.
No, he has a different flow. He has a different energy.
So you feel that his energy wouldn't have brought the track to its highest potential for this particular track?
highest potential? What is that? Like, what do you mean highest potential?
Of what the track is.
What do you mean high? So you think
of the feel of it, of the purity of it.
I just think I personally feel it's classism. I think a lot of niggas who feel like I only fuck with Andre 3000 because he's more sophisticated than that jigaboo, gang banging, dope dealing Negro over there, big boy, hopping out, listening to his big Cadillac box Chevy music. I personally feel a lot of times it's classism.
Big Boy would not have brought this track to the high potential. I just want Prince to be honest.
Wait, hold on, no. Let me tell you something. No, it wouldn't be the same energy. And I don't know. I absolutely. The reason why I was saying what I said. Let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
Big Boy, and this is a non-bias. If you're talking about technical skills, he is a better MC than Andre 3000. Andre 3000 said that himself. This is out of the man's mouth himself.
Eminem
but
is
Andre 3000.
Sorry, Prince. I was being rude. Go ahead.
Andre 3000 is a far more artistically expressive and imaginative nigga. That's all it says.
He's a way more imaginative, philosophical.
Yes.
So therefore, Big Boy would not have brought the heat to this track.
I'm just saying, therefore, people deem Andre more sophisticated than Big Boy. It's classism. Classism.
Andre's verses are just better. I'm sorry. He's more imaginative.
This is America.
It's okay. Can I say this?
I'm just saying.
It's like saying, if Jay-Z was on that track,
who does a lot of knockoff 3000 flows.
Wait, real quick. It would have would not have sounded as good as Kanye. I just want people to just be honest.
I'm saying this.
Big Boy would not have sound as good on this track as Andre, period.
Okay, can I say this one more time?
Okay,
so I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. Andre 3000 and Kanye West styles blend well. They blend well together. If anything, Kanye West is also a baby of Andre. Let's not forget that. He's a baby of Andre as well. Right? Kanye West and Big Boy's style would not have blended as well and harmoniously
I'll just
together.
say this.
That's all I'm saying.
Just like Big Boy gets credit for being courageous to do solo albums, Andre has to be given credit for most of the time he features on a track with someone else. Yes. He shines or sometimes even steal the spotlight. Big Boy don't steal the spotlight when he be on people's verses on their fucking track.
Because he raps faster.
He ain't saying shit.
Big Boy says a lot of shit. I'm not gonna go there.
All right.
Have you listened to Big Boy albums?
Let me.
Sin, have you listened to Big Boy albums?
Let me rewind it back.
Okay.
I fuck with Big Boy. He reminds me of Cedric the Entertainer.
There you go. Come on now. There you go. Come on, Sin.
He's very smooth.
All them country cousins you got in Virginia that look like Big Boy.
He's very
sick.
Big Boy is very smooth. He's very charming, and he's an amazing artist.
Did you like like the way you move?
I like the way you move.
Big Boy got soul.
I like the way you move. That being said,
it's a black nigga.
When it comes to lyricism and just outshining people, I just think that Andre 3000 is better.
I have no problem with that, Sin. And I told you, I respect your opinion. God's honest. God's honest. But what I'm saying for the general public, a lot of times when I've seen articles and write-ups and narratives, I say, I smell a little bit of classism. Because I feel Big Boy, I think he does what he does. He enjoys his raps. He enjoys his grits, cheese, and eggs. He enjoys all of that shit. And I fuck with him.
And I fuck with
that's what I grew up around, though. That's what I grew up in.
I agree with somebody who said who I'd rather hang out with, Big Boy, because Andre's a hit or miss. People who are very artistic like Andre 3000, you could meet up with them, and then sometimes it's not a good experience. With Big Boy, you're gonna be eating some greasy chicken, and he's probably vegan or doing whatever right now. But I'm sure it's still gonna be good.
His wife owns a very popular clothing store in Atlanta.
It's gonna be a barbecue, and it's gonna be chill. With Andre, you may get that on one day, but you may it's just not. It may not be no consistency.
It's just the back of her perm. The way it looks, sits, and learns. It feels so good. Be back in the hood. Let us lay and look at each other in the eyes.
Shout out to everybody, Black Panda, who is a part of the YouTube membership. Also, shout out to B More. Strategy King, shout out to you still sticking it in here with us, and everyone else who supported. Also, Scoot, I enjoy that avatar of yours. But getting back to this, I'm just saying, this track, Life of the Party, it's just one of the, it feels like I just love it. The heart chakra, the pure hip hop. It's a really beautiful track. I feel like his mother's spirit and energy and essence was all over that track. Kanye was charming. He was vulnerable. He was funny.
He was funny when he said, if I tell you to write something for me, he's talking to Drake. He says, all I want to hear you say is yes, sir.
Right. And he said, my mom was the greatest ghostwriter I ever had. And then, he was talking about, South Park, talking about, that's just our everyone, our apartment, they're ringing up to get a package. But anyway, it was, even when he said the South Park, fish sticks and, and all that stuff, suck a dick and all that, it was funny. So, I really do enjoy and love the track. Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and get it later, Prince, after the stream. So, I just think that was fire with Kanye and Andre's synergy. And Andre, I love when he raps because he's never biased, even when it comes to gender. He didn't throw the father under the bus or his mother. He's like misunderstandings, different thought process, young youth at that time as well. He talks from the perspective of the male and female, which I really do appreciate from Andre 3000, because a lot of times you'll get male or female artists where their only vantage point is their own experiences, and then also they only look through the vantage point of their own experiences as a male or a female. I love artists who are able to look across the room and say, you know what? Let me dissect that person's mental state, and let me dissect the things that they've gone through to lead them to this particular point as well, no matter what their gender or sexual orientation or whatever it is. And Andre 3000 has that capability.
Yes, I'm glad he popped up. And I think also Drake or the OVO does understand. By everybody keep talking about this makes, this is money for everybody, to be honest with you. This is really money for everybody. But I did really enjoy the track. It was wonderful to hear Andre 3000 show up somewhere else other than the T.I. record every now and then, which, he still did good on that verse, that beautiful verse he had on T.I.'s Trouble Man album, the song I'm Sorry, and he even apologized to his fans, and he just talked about some of the things that go. One thing I really enjoy about Andre 3000 that I do feel, again, a lot of the rappers today can benefit from with their honesty, because we was just talking about raw honesty and emotionality that a lot of guys are rapping from today. Look, Andre was honest. He said, look, man, one of the reasons why they never jumped right back in to doing another Outkast album, he said he started having performance anxiety. He said in some cases he was battling stage fright because he hadn't been on the stage for a long time. So there's a lot of things, and then 3 Stacks, he's like, I just kind of want to leave everything where it is. But he is a fantastic concept artist. He understood what the concept was. Songs about Donda. Who's Donda? Kanye West's mama. What we doing? Tribute. Okay, I could talk about what my people went through, my mother and father went through as well. And also to the point that you was bringing up earlier about gender dynamics. Remember, people, Kanye West got ridiculed even when he just started wearing pastel colors. Right around the time when everybody was, all them guys was wearing them baggy jeans with all them pockets and talking about I'm trying to get my iron into the club and I'm the hardest, and 50 was walking around with bulletproof vests. How many times was Kanye accused of being gay back then, right? And even Outkast had to address it. Andre 3000 had to address it on a Crimez because when Southern Player, their first debut album, which is a classic, came out, they were on some Southern Player shit, both of them. Andre, you can see in the early videos with the short haircut, he had the Atlanta Braves jersey on, and they were rapping in the backwoods. That's what people thought they were. Then they come out with ATLians. Andre, he dressed like Haji. So a lot of people at the time, they were like, well, what is all of this? And then so they had rumors back then saying, well, you know, Andre, I heard he funny. He talked with a list. He talked kind of sassy, he talked kind of funny. So when he addressed it on the Quemini, you know, what's wrong with that boy Andre, man? Is he weird? Is he queer? Is he gay? This, that, and the third.
Well, a lot of Southern dudes have or just some guys in general have a dialect that's similar to their mother. Some will be to their dad, some is a mixture of both, but... You know, them talk about him being sassy. There's a lot of straight sassy guy, bi, whatever. You know, so
I
on
mean,
and so
if you
forth.
raised by a black woman, I hate to tell you, nigga, you gonna have some sass in you. Hate to tell you, niggas, y'all gonna have some sass. That's why I hate a lot of. Well, you know, if you raised by if a black woman is assisted in or primarily directed the rearing of your childhood career, you're gonna have some sass in you, shouty.
And I agree. I don't know. Kanye could possibly be gender fluid as well, but I want to talk a little bit more on what you was talking about with Andre 3000 and also Kanye West.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Were you going or you want me to go? Oh,
well, I just want to say.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Both of these men are hip hop giants and icons, and I gotta say they both have some of the best catalogs in hip hop.
Yes.
You know, Andre as a duo, of course, so put some respect on Big Boy's name when it comes to that. Both were had creative directions with their albums. Never had a bad album by Outkast. And then also with Kanye West, like, you literally have 5 albums in a row that were amazing. Now, we do argue in what is considered a classic. I think Kanye has 5 classics: The College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808 and Heartbreaks, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Anything after that is decent, but is not classic.
Remember, his decent is not like everybody else's decent either.
Right.
That's another
and
thing.
it's also because they're playing games like Life of Pablo. Everybody was excited about. I love Jumpman. I love a lot of the tracks that came out before the album was released. But when he was talking about bleach buttholes and all that stuff, he lost me when it came to that album. And I felt he was being too self-indulgent in certain ways as well. You know, and I really feel like this could have been, at the very least, close to a classic if he didn't just fuck it up, which Kanye, later in his musical career, has the tendency of doing that. But I think Kanye has one of the greatest catalogs in music, period. It's very hard for somebody to put out 5 albums that are amazing. Right. It's not an easy task just in music in general, because you have, as an artist, you have burnout. You have so many other complications that can happen, bad business decisions that could also mess up your musical run. And for Kanye to have that is really good. Now, I know there's controversy with 808s because some people are talking about it right now. Some people feel
it's a classic,
but I think
it's a classic.
808s is a fucking classic.
It's a classic. It's like I'll give you one example. You all have to be. That's what we say. Like, you take your time to absorb something, right? When 808 came out,
controversy. People
says, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I didn't go listen to it. I think I listened to it about a month after it was released. And that, for me, when a Kanye album was dropping, up until that point, that was the longest I had waited after a Kanye West album had dropped. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. It didn't pull me right away. So when I listened to it, I said, "Oh shit, this is it. This is it." Now, when The Life of Pablo hit, I says, "That's not it. That's not it. I don't know what's going on there." Because remember, he reversed the track list too. He just completely flipped it. So Kanye he has a very incredible run that has been he's been able to do in hip hop and just in music in general. And people were wrestling about 808 Heartbreak, but then here you go, a whole generation of rappers, all of them have been picking off of 808 Heartbreak for the longest. And I know some people was bringing up the fact that Kid Cudi and T-Pain about their contribution to the record.
Of course.
But I always said it before, I says Kanye West is a musical conductor as well. I think, for me, he's a much better Dr. Dre. Okay? And this is why Dre does
you may get some pushback on that from some people, but I'm actually, I agree with you.
And I'll say this. When you think about College Dropout, it is literally the what you would call like a neo backpack equivalency to the Chronic. You had all of these people come in and contribute to this grand project that changed the soundscape in its space. That's what the College Dropout did with everything afterwards. Same thing with the Chronic. You know, if you actually go to the Chronic, like Dre is not on many cuts of the original Chronic or I think the subsequent one, the follow-up 2001. So when people come out like Rhyme Fest and everybody was like, I'm trying to expose Kanye, I just kind of think of it as like a Backpack Chronic album. It changes the soundscape for its space moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people kind of look at. That's what I was saying in the earlier stream. I said I don't think people really understand what Kanye is as a musician.
Now with Drake, Drake lack of confidence with his the some of the shit he put as a mixtape, you really has fucked up his flow because, like, we start with his discography, what is considered an album with Thank Me Later, which was shitty. But the mixtape, excuse me, that sounded like an album, that should have just been an album if he was confident in himself, would have been the first classic. I think the second one possibly, well, we're not going to count that since it was a mixtape. He didn't have confidence in it, so let's move on. Take Care could have been, but it wasn't all the way focused, and I think he allowed too many people to get in his ear with the R&B shit. Should have just made it an R&B rap album, but focused more so on R&B. Nothing Was the Same, may be considered classic over some time. I only had one song that was okay on there. I really think it was a really good album. Nothing Was the Same for Drake. And then the other one that was like a banger, which I would have said was a fucking classic, but he wasn't confident once again. And if you're reading this too late, he put it as a mixtape. So
you know the difference between Drake and Kanye West artistically, and this is for any artist. The difference between you being great and having what they call a decent to good run is your aggression. Creatively, Kanye West is very controlling. He's very aggressive. And as artists, I hate to tell you, folks who would like that, they usually end up churning out some really great work. I personally felt with Drake, I always felt he had the tools, but I never felt artistically Drake was as aggressive as somebody like a Kanye West.
And he's in a weird conundrum because...
And I'm talking about artistic cohesion.
No,
too.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Point down, we're on the same page. The interesting conundrum about Drake, though, is like his albums really do match the times of when they came out with certain generations. And I do think Views and Nothing Was the Same and even Take Care are like albums that people are going to go back a lot to, from, you know, the older millennials all the way down to the older Gen Zers who have experienced that, and the young ones who like those albums as well. But yeah, but that's the thing. But they still feel like there's something missing at the same time, even though those 3 albums, official albums, are strong enough to stand the test of time. You know, it's still like you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying, yeah, and I get it. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, Antarctica, aggression affects energy projection in music. Yes, and that could be for the better. Like, if you're talking about just destructive anger, that's different, you know. And even as artists, guess what? Anger is a channeling mechanism in creativity as well. Some people, when they're angry, they can make some of their best work. They focus. Some people channel anger differently. They put it together differently. What I'm saying about Drake, I just feel even right now, I do feel for him to want to be considered, and remember, these are his words, not ours. He says, you never heard a rapper rap like Pac and sing like Michael. Well, I mean, if we think about both artists in their different genre, they were risk takers. You know, and I think one thing that could plague Drake in his career.
Oh, I get it. He became a risk taker because what he did was risk taking, but he stopped.
Right.
And when his sound was copied,
right, that's what I'm saying.
He became safe in it.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. And for Kanye, for like, again, every album he didn't move through, Kanye then switched and flipped. And look at his concerts. He was the first rapper to take this level of risk when it came to live performances. You have to look at a lot of live shows in hip hop before Kanye. Bullshit. Not saying they weren't decent, but if I missed it, oh well, we go to a hotel. Right?
Right.
But after with lasers, the laser light show and all of the other shit that came, Kanye West had changed that whole game in that space, because Kanye West enjoys living on the edge. He's always enjoyed. In fact, how many times people have to dial Kanye, bring it back. Nobody's ever said, for the most part, yo, Drake, get up, yo, man, Drake on, man, that boy wild, Drake wild, right? No, and even the one time where Drake looked like he was about to get wild when he was getting ready to go at Pusha T and Kanye, he was sat down.
Also, we have a donation. Bates said Andre just released a statement on this song and controversy, plus who he wants to work with. Check it out before y'all leave. We will do that. Yeah. Thank you, Bates.
Oh, I'm sure it plays into some sort of agenda that OVO is purposely serving, and I do believe right now. The only other collaboration from Andre that I would love to hear, it would be interesting to see what Drake could do with the Andre 3 Stacks feature. But I'm really interested in Kendrick Lamar and the 3 Stacks feature as well. Because when I listen to Damn, I clearly hear a lot of Outkast influence on that album. But for me personally, I do feel Drake, him coming in and the way he said, I want to, do like Tupac and Michael Jackson. I want to be like in it. That was a huge risk to run with as your armor during that time, right? But
yeah, it's very weird because with Drake, he does sound like the same as 2016.
Right.
But before we get to the now, all the way up to 2016, Drake was always on this type of vibe. Like, he had some dope ass verses. He came out with all these fucking Lucy's that would be great.
Yes.
Like, he'll do 4 a.m. in Calabasas, or he'll do 0 to 100, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, we about to get the album. Ain't on the album. It's like he has this like whole thing where it's like it's hard for him to put his music together, and he's just.
Well, I think I'm gonna be honest with you, Sin.
Yeah.
Now this is where we get into King Drizzy Drake. And y'all go ahead and get the likes up, please. It does keep us in the algorithm. That's the only reason why I have to say it, folks. All right, thank you so much. I think Drake, he got a little bit James Harden with it. Only concerned with the stats at certain points of his career. Because, Drake comes with all of these stats and these Guinness Book of World Records and all of this other stuff. That's when Jay-Z was like, I don't have $1 billion, but I don't have 1 billion streams, but I got $1 billion, right? And part of that, what you're saying is like when he released Nice for What did I tell you? I said, that's one of the more energetic tracks I've heard from Drake in a minute. But guess what? Because Nice for What didn't catch on to the public, right? Because they were doing testing. Okay, we're going to see if this works, if that works, if that's works. That's called playing it safe.
Yeah, but when he did his song like Wish, that did very well.
That's kind of playing it safe because you didn't get
shit. But you're right. He always like testing shit instead of just putting the fucking album out.
Right, and that has plagued every sensitivity. That's a part of who he is. What's really plagued Drake his entire career?
Overthinking.
There you go. Because I always say, even when he came out with when he responded to Meek initially, the Charged Up track.
Thank God Meek wasn't smart enough to actually put out a diss record at that time. But yeah, when he turned up, it was like it was chill, it was cute, but it wasn't no diss.
But his team was still testing. Oh yeah, man, I think you got to come back again.
But that was really clever though when he put it back to back. Clever cleanup.
Right. So when he did the Darko Mode joint, that's even though it was classified as a mixtape album or whatever the hell they put it as, because they be moving that shit around, but that's them still trying to feel out what is the public going to respond to.
Well, Drake is also lucky. I will say this is where Drake luck come in. It's still music. It's still out there.
Yeah.
So people like Darko Lane more than some people may like Darko Lane more than this CLB album, but it's still out there. So that means like when people talk about Drake history as an artist, and he is an icon whether people like him or not, he just doesn't have the same musical consistency as Kanye West. People are going to bring up his mixtapes and talk about the mixtapes they love, like If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and also the first mixtape he ever did that, people say it's his classic that sounded like an album. So, like, these things still will be brought up, as a part of his musical history.
Right, and also Innovator J says these niggas are teammates. Technically, you're right. They're both under Universal, but they're sitting on different positions of the floor.
They are taking the musical runway, though, from any other company and artist right now. Right,
because you got to keep in mind, Drake is signed directly with Universal with his imprint of OVO, so he's getting the money bag directly. So he's in a different position, which in some cases allows for him to get a bigger bag than Kanye West when it comes to the music. But then Kanye West is a billionaire, so it's like, what's the fucking difference? To be honest with you, right? So yeah, you could say they're teammates, but the Game and 50 was in the same fucking group. Don't mean there's some real issues that are not there, but also they're sitting on different positions of the court too, by the way.
Do you want me to read his statement?
Oh yeah. You got it. Can you do his voice?
So no, Andre 3000, I can't do it. You can do it if you want to, though, Prince.
But go ahead, Sid.
He said, a few weeks ago, Kanye reached out about me being a part of Donda album. I was inspired by his idea to make a musical tribute to his mom. It felt appropriate to me to support the Donda concept by referencing my own mother, who passed away in 2013. We both share that loss. I thought it was a beautiful choice to make a clean album, but unfortunately, I didn't know that was the plan before I wrote and recorded my verse. It was clear to me that an edited clean format of the verse would not work without having the raw original also available. So sadly, I had to basically back out of it, and the album was released without him. So he basically said he was omitted from the original album release. So then he also says, the track I received and wrote to didn't have the diss verse on it.
Oh, Chicago finessers.
And we were hoping to make a more focused offering for a Donda album, but I guess things happen like they are supposed to. It's unfortunate that it was released in this way, and two artists that I love are going back and forth. I wanted to be on Certified Lover Boy too. I just wanted to work with people that inspire me. Hopefully, I can work with Kendrick on his album. Oh shit! Hopefully, wait. Now this is Andre being a little bit sassy. These two bitches are fighting. Hopefully, I can talk with the sensible nigga where my fucking feature will be on the fucking album. Instead of dealing with these two prissy bitches, Drake and fucking Kanye, who didn't have my fucking verses on this shit because they being paid.
El Shaddai.
He also said,
if you live in a glass house and if you got a glass jaw,
you should watch your mouth. He also said, I love to work with Lil Baby, Tyler, and Jay-Z. I respect them all.
He's worked with Jay-Z before. 30 is the new 20, if you all remember that joint. I would love to hear him and Lil Baby, because I told niggas before Lil Baby was going to surpass the Baby. A lot of you all like that little big-headed nigga. I said he's funny at times, but Lil Baby is, to me, he just make better music. And Tyler, the Creator, who is, that would be perfect, because Tyler, the Creator, makes a lot of really dope music. Boy, that's why I told you I was feeling Kendrick on that verse when he said, motherfuck that album, burn that hard drive. I love that shit. I was like, man, he's like, man, get back to the music. Man. Let's give it up for 3 Stacks.
Good 3 Stacks.
Shouts out to the niggas in the 404.
He basically leave the fuck out of this. Like, he said, I don't have nothing to do with this shit.
This is America.
I had nothing to do with this shit. I just wanted to make good music. I poured my heart out on a Donda track. It was a dope ass track, by the way. Life of the Party. And instead, I got dragged into some bullshit.
Because that's what Drake was doing then. All right then, Drake. Drizzy, I see what you did. Right? Because one thing I know about Andre 3000, from not talking to him, one thing I understand is that he's one of those people, he has to be inspired to work with you. He has to really respect your craft. You know, look, we've made our jokes about Eminem, but word on the street is if he does a feature with you, he doesn't charge you. He's doing it because he respects you.
Yeah.
So I feel that is the case also with 3 Stacks. I think actually the people he mentioned, I believe it's crazy. It's what saying you said something very powerful, black woman, that I will take credit as a black man. I'm joking. But no, you said something very powerful. You said this stupid beef. She said this behind the scenes. She said this stupid beef is fucking up hip hop right now, preventing us from getting the best music from both parties. Who's to say that their little stupid petty heart chakra beef has cheated both of them out of possibly making a classic at the same time?
I actually think they should do an album together.
So they already did one.
No, so they can yell at each other and say how they feel hurt by each other, so we can get this out of the way.
There you go.
Make an album together like I was supposed to some years ago, so we can move on past this.
Go, you two niggas come together and make hip hop's first sexually fluid album. Okay? Because there's now look. I actually would have loved to hear a Drake and 3 Stacks collaboration on that Champagne Poppy album, the one he just dropped. But I tell you
that Bubble Bath album.
I am waiting for Kendrick, because he's an old school Gemini.
This is America.
So thank you. Who said that, by the way, told us to check out the statement from 3 Stacks? Who said that in the
Bates.
chat? Thank you, Bates. Thank you. That's what we love to think. Y'all keep us up on it. Y'all know Sandy and I don't be paying attention to shit sometimes.
Yeah, they should make their gender fluid album together and talk about how they hurt each other. I was in love with you since I was 10, but then you know, and just.
But I don't love myself.
And Kanye scream about what Drake did to offend him. Let them dog it out.
Fam, I didn't love myself. Yeah, man, it's like I really loved you. Stop it. Yeah, they should have actually. Oh my goodness, this is so tragic. These two powerful emoji face niggas.
They're very emo.
Look,
I mean, I appreciate the emo energy from them though, but it's going a little bit too far now. We want to get to the music.
Yeah, cause now you shooting at the OG emo niggas. What the 3 Stacks? Now he caught a bullet in the shoulder. Man, sit your ass down.
Your $5 ass down before I make change.
Okay, because
they really do love each other. To be this invested.
Right.
Because you could tell when a nigga be like, I'm better than you, nigga. Like, what the fuck are you in my face for, bitch?
Right.
We have nothing in common, whatever. I'm just the person, right? I'm the dude. With this situation, it's obviously hurt people. You know, Drake, if it wasn't for Kanye, you wouldn't be here. We do know that you have learned from the LLs and the Nellies, of course, but we know that Kanye is your father, and Kanye knows, based off of what he said himself, that he has been inspired by Drake and really in awe with some of the things that Drake has been able to do. This sounds like this needs to be a family therapy session.
Fam!
That's what it sounds like, a musical family therapy session to get things off of their chest.
Fam! Also, too, by the way, I want to go to Strategy King, a proud sponsor of Thought Crimes. He's been secretly funding us.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
It goes like this. Drake released the record, period. Ye respected Andre 3000's wishes and did not release it. I will give you that. Drake said, fuck all of that shit. And this is why Andre 3000 says, I actually want to work with Kendrick now. Ooh. Shading Drake now. Because he's like, I respect you. That's kind of some dirty shit. And I believe in karma. So I'm going to work with Kendrick.
If two guys who weren't even in love with each other's music, like Chris Brown, and they was in love with the same woman, Chris Brown and Drake, after throwing bottles and having to spend a lot of money for being sued, can come back together from their on and off again relationship. Two men who actually love each other's music should be able to make amends.
That's so fucked up. You know, when they were talking about, remember there was a position at one time, you all. I don't know, I was about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago. People said, remember the rumor mill was out there that they were going to release a Kanye West and Drake duo album?
Yeah.
Kind of like Watch the Throne?
Yeah.
Or did Watch the Throne come into fruition because the Drake and Ye album fell apart?
Well, this is why they got to be careful. Drake and Kanye are kind of slow. People never wanted them to become a duo. Remember, Jay-Z, just out of Kanye's own mouth, Kanye West said Jay-Z was the reason why it was difficult for him to do an album with Drake because he was giving him problems on the business end.
Yeah, man, you don't want to do that.
Then Kid Cudi was being an emotional bitch because he's an emotional bitch. We know his love his music, but he could be an emotional bitch at times. He was crying like, how you gonna do an album with him before me? And I helped you with 808.
But y'all did do a collabo album. It's called 808.
Exactly, but
I'm sorry, kids.
It was
and
like,
I love kids' music.
Kid
I love
Cudi, like, bro,
fucking dope.
Y'all did do an album together. It's called 808.
Yeah, so
like,
sit your $5 ass down.
And look at 2021 after Kanye and Drake let all these middlemen get in the way. Kid Cudi's on the album with Drake.
He on both albums.
Jay-Z on the album with Drake.
He on both albums too.
And with Kanye. I'm telling you, man.
Wait a minute, so the niggas that told y'all not to collaborate are on both of y'all albums. So they got paid twice.
Support us.
I mean, talk about it. It's the truth. It's people in their own camp. Well, mostly seemingly that was getting in the way of this, only for them to end up in the fuck on both of their fucking albums anyway.
Fam.
So what was the point?
Fam. Bro, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but we are. Y'all know what it is. It's kind of interesting that I'm gonna be honest with you all. I think because Drake obviously was in a collaborative mood. He married Future. It wasn't the best marriage on the record, right? But he married Future, right? Artistically, I believe, call it a controversy, I believe if Kanye West and Drake had made at the very least 15-track collabo album, it would have been a classic.
Yeah,
it would have been. It would have been a classic for both of them.
Right, and I agree. And look, Shake and Bake, I understand. You said you want the blood on wax. You don't want all them collabs. I understand that, but I just don't get how Drake and Kanye don't understand. They're playing all the spiritual warfare against each other, but they're marrying each other. Like,
just at the kid at heart.
Yeah. They both saying they got snakes in the grass. Well, some of the snakes are on your fucking albums, and some of the people who was pitting y'all against each other or saying y'all couldn't do albums together, get in the way of the business and all this other shit.
Let's talk about
now that person is like up there playing smoochy smooch with y'all. At this point, y'all might as well have just came together anyway.
Well, they're talking about this snakes. Both of them talking about snakes in their grass. They didn't know, Sin, that they both owned the same lawn. They didn't know they was renting from the same house. Me personally, I love Kid Cudi's music, but unfortunately, he had some issues that really hampered his career.
Now I see why Lupe said he wanted to smack Kid Cudi.
Man on the Moon is a classic album to me personally.
It is a classic album.
I love his strongest efforts of Man on the Moon and In the Cut. Right? Cold-blooded nigga. I'm so cold. Right?
Niggas know I'm cold. Yeah. One cold-blooded nigga.
Right? So
that was a nice album.
Here's my thing though. Not trying to be funny. But everybody cry. Jay-Z right?
Got in the way of the relationship. Now he on both albums.
Right? Now I'm sure they need to come together.
Jay-Z funny though. Wait, I'm sorry though. I know it's still bad, but when Jay-Z be snaking niggas, it do be funny.
It is funny.
Cause he be like, I'm cool with, I ride with Cap. We pass kneeling.
I told you, you can't knock the hustle.
He told Jermaine Dupri, I wouldn't make that deal. He made the deal.
Wouldn't make it.
He told Ye not to work with Drake because of the title Business Beef. Then he on the album with fucking Drake.
What did Kanye say?
This shit
Kanye
is funny.
said, I got a song with Coldplay. Then he got a song with Coldplay. Fam. Right? So
Well, you can't blame Hov though for people being dumb enough to fall for it though.
Nobody said you had to listen.
I gotta say that at the same time.
I mean, I can see myself telling Jay-Z, no, we good.
Yeah, like
right.
When people do things,
fuck with your music, nigga, but no.
Yeah, when people do things by force, like allegedly Diddy with the people's backsides, allegedly. That's different. I can understand people being super angry with some of the foul shit that Diddy has been alleged of doing. But some of the things Jay-Z's been alleged of, it's just slimy, sneaky, snaky communication.
Man,
though.
You don't want to talk to her. They say her breath stink.
Right. You don't have to listen to Jay-Z. You could just go and do it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame Jay-Z for
being a hustler.
Cause you can't knock the hustle.
I saw people like he said it on the first song of his first album.
I mean, people
you can't knock the hustle.
People alleged Hov is playing choke right now. Choke said, then what he was talking about me.
Sensational.
Okay. Sure.
You big dummy.
All right. But you can't knock the hustle. I don't even know what that is. Any nigga. You gotta watch him.
And Hov is shady. He gave Ye a lazy doo-doo verse. I can't remember nothing except for I told Ye to stop that red cap.
You can tell where Jay-Z's heart was. Cause why did Meek Mill get one of the best verses of the year?
Yeah.
Talk about free. What's free?
He even gave Drake more energy. Now I do understand that he came after Drake for some business competition, and from Jay-Z's perspective, he feels Kanye hurt his feelings. But whatever.
Looking at Beyonce. Oh, so you say he's your favorite rapper?
But so with Kanye, you know, he got a little bit more salt in there because he went out there and gave him that ass verse. That wasn't even a good verse. It was one of the laziest verses I've ever seen Jay-Z give.
To be honest with you, he gave a better verse to Bugs Bunny from Space Jam.
He did.
Also, I do feel like Kanye and Drake, they also fucking up each other's artistic expression in themselves. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, my earlier point that I was going to is even though Kid Cudi...
Can I ask you a question real quick before you go to your next point, Prince?
Okay.
If Jay-Z and Kanye do Watch the Throne 2 and it's a classic, do you think it will make Jay-Z vindicated for his Machiavelli destructive moves?
I don't think it'll be a classic.
So you don't think it would be good?
I think it would be discombobulated.
Okay.
Right? Because Jay-Z, I feel he was already tolerating Kanye enough with Watch the Throne, the first one. This Kanye West is on some other shit. This is anarchist Kanye.
Okay.
And I don't think Jay-Z, I personally don't think he would have the patience to pretend as much as he did before.
Okay.
I think he would be appreciative of their union, but unless they got something in the pot that's already been recorded, maybe they got 12 other songs that had just been sitting somewhere, but I just don't see it. Shit. Look at the collaborations that Kanye is doing now. Like, he's in his own zone. Like,
well, I think some of the collaborations he did was hot, like with Baby Keem and Travis Scott. But I do agree with you. If Jay-Z bringing that doo-doo energy he brought on Donda, I don't...
Yeah, because, like, another thing, too, that made Kanye and Drake... Kanye and Jay-Z work on Watch the Throne, and I personally felt Kanye outshined Jay-Z on the whole album.
Most people say that, yeah.
Right. But still, Jay-Z he was enjoying himself.
Right.
I think this, like, even when we heard, I told him no red cap.
It felt like it was painful for him to even do the fucking verse.
Call my therapist.
You think Jay-Z had to talk to his therapist before he did the verse?
Yes. I think Jay-Z, he could have had an anxiety attack afterwards.
Sean, do you still consider Omari West your friend?
I just want my Rockefeller shit back. I have to do this.
But Sean, we talked about manipulation. It's not good.
I know. It's not good.
You're trying to be a better person now, right?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about your feelings. Let's not talk about business for a second.
I did it on 444 already.
But we have to talk about this.
Ah!
How do you feel about him right now?
I hate him. I fucking hate him.
Oh my god. It does feel like that is the subconscious energy with Jay-Z. He's really still mad at Kanye.
I hate his neck. It's that piece of meat back there, and they edge it up all the time.
Okay.
Because you think about like if your lady's mad at you and she still cooks for you, but the food don't taste that good.
Right. The seasoning missing it. You like, damn, this bitch is mad at me.
That was the laziest, slowest verse I've ever heard. I said, why is he rapping so slow? Woo, man, but I'll tell you what though, this has been one entertaining beef. Can y'all call it beef? What is the vegan? Oh, this is like, what is this? Impossible meat.
Right.
This is not even beef. This is an Impossible Burger beef.
Yeah, it is.
So come on.
But Jay-Z knew he didn't want him to go over there with Drake though. He was smart enough to know that. He probably was like scheming like these two niggas can't get together.
Just let me get my money up first.
Yeah, Kanye supposed to be my money man, not with Drake. Not him. Remember, because Jay-Z's the type of person I'd rather destroy the whole thing than for the other person to have it.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
I mean, and look, if he does Watch the Throne 2, he's not going to sound invigorated.
Now, what was the point you was about to touch on, Prince? Which was, I think, was Cudi or something like that.
Oh yeah, I love Kid Cudi's music from his first album to Indicud, and then a little bit afterwards. I know he tried to do like an alternative style music, and I was it's not bad, but I just feel everything that Drake had at his arsenal to weaponize. That is what would challenge Kanye West. And Kanye West would challenge Drake to do better as well. I think some of the verses, if Jay-Z would have known that Kanye was gonna spaz out on his verses that way, I think we would have had a more aggressive Hove lyrically.
I think so.
So because I think he kind of just thought like, it's Kanye, it's my little bro. We about to get here and do this thing. We just we're gonna make sure we put on. But Kanye West was going off on that album. When Nas and Jay-Z step in the booth, they make sure like Jay-Z already knows like I'm coming with something. But go ahead, Sin.
No, I think we narrated the whole beef correctly then, because remember people saying we shouldn't have involved Jay-Z in the Kanye and Drake beef, but he played a part in it, a huge part.
Yeah.
So we actually did narrate that correctly.
Yeah, he didn't exactly try to stop it publicly. Let him fight.
But yeah, Cudi is very annoying to me, and this is why. I don't know. Kanye needs to. DJ came on here. He said it's too many loose holes in Kanye's camp.
He did say that.
A lot of people who don't care about Kanye, who just want for themselves. And to me, I'm not the type of person of like, we're friends and we're just not on good terms right now. I just feel hurt. Maybe I feel like you haven't been paying much attention to me, or we haven't gone out as much anymore, whatever. I'm not going to just start going on somebody's album that I was the person who was one of the people trying to tell you not to do the album with the guy. I think what Kid Cudi is doing is slimy. I think because he's a drug addict, people give him
he's
more
supposed
leeway.
to have recovered.
Yeah, people give him more leeway, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, it's to me the type of friendship you claim to have had with Kanye. I think what you're doing is pretty whack.
Well, I think something you said yesterday about like some of the old heads or the older generation, the previous generation of rappers, because they actually generationally have been cycling rappers out quicker now.
Right.
But if you kind of notice, like, remember Wale and Cudi got into it, then Cudi and Drake got into it, then Wale and Drake.
Cudi was starting with everybody who he thought was more successful. Also, Shaban only got a good question. Who's more annoying, Cudi or Cole? That's difficult for different reasons.
We did that at the same time.
I'm gonna only go with Cudi because he seems to backstab people who are his friends. I don't know if Jermaine has backstabbed anybody who he is close friends with. Y'all can remember because he wasn't close friends with Nas, or No Name Gypsy. These are just people. So I'm gonna go with Cudi because Cudi claimed to be friends with Kanye.
Well, let me go up to something real quick before I bring this point up, because you all got to remember something about Kid Cudi too, by the way. Because let's see here, Man on the Moon, Kid Cudi. I'm gonna pull up something real quick and let's talk about it. Man on the Moon, The End of Day. I think that's such a fucking wonderful album. Had a lot of influence on this era too, by the way. Even had influence on Kanye West, who had influence on Cudi. So the circle came full complete.
Why you doing that? Just to address people. Yeah, right. He did backstab Wale. He claims his friends. They both whack.
Okay, so.
Go ahead, Prince.
I understood why Kid Cudi was cutting up like that. I didn't, agree with it, but out of the mold, I believe Kid Cudi was the first one to really pop out of that era. And remember, Man on the Moon, it went double platinum. And mind you, these guys were coming like right when Lupe was in the kind of the mid phase of his career. But Lupe is technically, he's still adjacent to this class. He just kind of got going in other spaces for other reasons and on a different timeline slightly. But I would kind of lump him in with the rest of these niggas. They all in the same camp. But when Kid Cudi came out and how people were talking about, remember, they built Kid Cudi the leader of that era. It was Kid Cudi and Wale, and then there was Drake. And I remember they were centrally, explicitly focused on Kid Cudi. And then Wale had some hot singles, but Drake started taking off. And that's when you start seeing Kid Cudi get a little bit sassy.
And jealous.
Right.
Let's just call it what it is. Cudi was jealous of Drake. And Drake, there's like the people who deserve being mad at Drake was XXXTentacion when Drake took the song. And there are people, maybe even Quentin Miller. But a nigga who has no one to be mad at is Kid Cudi. You're just irritated because Drake popped off, and your drug habit is the reason why you haven't excelled to the level that you had. So I mean, now some artists can have drug habits and still excel for 3 albums and be really popular. Like Whitney Houston had a drug habit. She was the darling of the industry for a long time, made beautiful music. Even though eventually there was a decline. But some people did decline when they're on drugs is much faster. And Kid Cudi is one of those people.
Yeah, and an extremely talented musician. Definitely talented musician. Still listen to a lot of his older work. But I did remember around that time that Kid Cudi, he had some hits out the banger first. Even his first album was stronger than J. Cole's and Drake's. Man on the Moon was already the concept that even some of the guys were biting off today. Travis Scott bit off Kid Cudi's concept.
Well, how do you feel about some of Kanye's people, kids coming at them? We understand Drake. I don't think Drake is coming at the Kanye because he's a hater or anything. I think the issue with Drake and Kanye is they had too many middlemen play with their relationship. Seemingly more so people in Kanye's camp like Cudi and Jigga and all those people, Pusha and all them. And some of them only to go on an album with Drake, which shows you where loyalty goes. So I'm gonna put them to the side for a moment. But what do you think about like people like Cudi, for example, and some of the other ones like going at the Kanye?
Because Kanye West is annoying.
He is annoying.
Because he comes from the asshole school of Dame Dash.
True.
And if you really think about Cudi and Drake, they would never be able to deal with a Dame Dash. Kanye West slept under that. He slept in that same space. So that tells you something is off with Kanye just way back when, because Dame Dash, come on. genius in business with some of the things he's done. But come on, like I would rather watch Dame Dash than try to be in his face and like, yo, man, what's it? Because he's an asshole.
But is annoying good enough? Because we talk about loyalty, betrayal, all that other stuff. We can see, like, do you think annoying is a good enough reason though for all these snakes to be coming up against Kanye?
Well, when bad things happen to people, listen to when people say how they narrate them. When Tupac got shot, a lot of people said that's good. Yeah, well, he was talking so much of shit. Now look what happened. You kind of don't want to be that guy. But if you see this peer class that I got on the screen right now, this is what I was talking about. Because that's what I said. This is a long ass history with all of these niggas.
Yep. And
people think this shit is like, oh, it's just some last summer shit. Look who were the 3 niggas that looked like they were gonna run that school of hip hop.
And Drake is the only one who went all the way.
He went all the way.
Wale insecurity fucked him up. Because he actually the same thing that's fucking up Cole now, which good with his bitch ass since he tried to throw Wale. No, it's good. His bitch ass tried to throw Wale under the bus. And you the same nigga. Okay. But I feel Wale's music as albums are better. But
yeah, that last album he had.
Wale became insecure first before the rest of them. That's the only reason why he got taken out, because he was doing that for the people shit mixed with that club shit music where he was with Rick Ross and it was doing very well. Then he got too much into his head. It was like, should I just be all good guy? We're human beings. You don't have to be all of one thing. So that fucked him up. Now J. Cole is suffering the same issue that Wale had a long time ago. Is when you go so woke and you're like, because you felt like you needed to go there for whatever reason, maybe self-discovery, that it puts you into this boring little square box where you can't talk about nothing else.
Sensational.
So now J. Cole is suffering the same issue that he put Wale on blast for, which is funny because he was like, yeah, you have fans too, nigga, just da-da-da-da-da.
I said, whoa, bro, chill. Like, J. Cole, y'all understood, like, that's what I said. Do you understand who the industry felt were the top niggas at that time? And you understand J. Cole, when he started out, he didn't rap initially like these niggas. J. Cole gave you that I'm from the Ville rap. He wanted to give you some flashiness, but he was definitely leaning towards more so New Yorkish energy. And when he had the quote unquote low Caesar, low haircut, he was rapping more like a more conscious Hove, if that makes sense. Jay-Z without the financial pursuit. Kid Cudi, Drake, and Wale on their first albums were already exploring their emotions publicly. And then J. Cole said, you know what, I want to get on board. I'm dropping Forest Hill Drive.
We also have a donation, Prince.
J. Cole should have stayed, he should have stayed heel. KOD was his heel turn and his best project. Listen back, he turned his back on the project because of pushback. I will agree with you. I had to agree with you because.
And he became a punk ass again because he didn't want to offend the little pump dude who said a lie.
You should have sat down with your little brother Corday.
Right, lied on Black Men, said that Black Men came, and he don't even make Lil Pump don't even make any good music. He a bottom bitch in the industry too. Like Cole is just.
You didn't even ask Lil Pump why you. But anyway, I'm not going to get stuck.
I'll be back, Prince. I don't want to get stuck on that fake Bob Marley trick nigga. Let me go get me some water. I'll be back.
All right, so look, y'all. And this is what I'm saying. Because it's called preference. This is preference, y'all. I'm going to put something else on the screen so y'all can see what's up. I think people sometimes, y'all must have forgot like Roy Jones. Okay? All of these niggas have a long history with each other. Oh, don't worry, Hattie. We're not going to talk about Cole too long. But look at that's on screen. Look what's on screen, y'all. These are all the same niggas that y'all see today. They're all in different positions now. Wale came out, and Wale, I know people made fun of him. He has some errors, some gaps, and people felt he was too sensitive, and he tried to explain certain things, this, that, and third. But look at this class here. Look at this guy. Now, anybody out of this class served on the block? Anybody out of this class put niggas in the trunk. Anybody out of this class is swinging on Vols, slamming doors. Right? No. These niggas here, this is the regular class of black men. I know there's a lot of brothers online talking about the gang scene. Actually, sir, for the most part, this is what motherfuckers was listening to. Now, you had the option to listen to Jeezy and all that shit, but I'm going to tell all of these niggas was the ones that was selling. So, when people talk about like Complex and some of these people that are kind of, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but some of y'all sound like y'all just started listening to rap. These niggas, all of these niggas have a very long history with each other. 10 years. 10 to 12 years. Cud, Cole, Big Sean, Drake, Kanye, and these are all Kanye's babies too. Because Kanye was in a weird space. He was backpack, but all these guys got their start in backpack space. Drake was a backpack rapping nigga with glam. Big Sean was a backpack rapping nigga with Detroit slick flavor. With Detroit swag, as they used the word swag at the time. Kid Cudi was a black Mexican backpack rapper that experimented with drugs. Wale was a DC backpack rapper that, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with some of the trap shit. I'm gonna go here and hang out with the dope boys. I don't sell dope, but they think I'm cool anyway, so I'm gonna just do what I do. And Kanye West was the backpack nigga that was emotional and explosive. Kendrick Lamar was the backpack rapping nigga from Compton. Folks, I'm not trying to be funny. Everybody get into a little bitch ass camps. I'm so up J. Cole's ass. I'm so up Drake's ass. I'm so up Kanye's ass. But y'all, you're missing a whole Chronicle of Narnia with these niggas. This is the backpack class community, and this is the first successful, financially affluent backpack generation of rappers. Dilated People never went double platinum. Jurassic 5 never went triple platinum. Black Eyed Peas minus the white girl, they never went quadruple platinum.
And Jay-Z made sure that Kanye didn't have all the Infinity Stones because he broke up the relationship between him. I'm sure other people too, like Cudi.
This is the first, this is the first multi-platinum class of backpack rapping niggas. Mm-hmm. And I told people at the time, they got mad at me. I said, well, Forest Hill Drive is J. Cole getting in line and finding a way to remarket himself. Because he tried to do that bibbity-bobbity flip-flop shit, the shit that Big Sean is better at, and the shit that Wale is actually much better at.
That's why I said, like, well, Wale was pushed on MMG. So I remember eating an ice cream sandwich. Vegan ice cream sandwich. It was actually good. But when he was on MMG, he was able to go to that dark and light shit better than J. Cole. But when he started getting insecure about it, you know, he fell off. Then J. Cole years later talking shit about it only for the same thing that happened to him. That's why I'm like, karma.
That's what I said. Look, yo, this is the first time in hip-hop history that backpack niggas, non-Glock carrying in the club niggas, and if these niggas even have criminal histories beyond traffic tickets, it's probably just for like the shit. Look, the most criminally oriented nigga in the group is Kid Cudi.
Right, because, and also shot by not only right, Lupe is the older brother
to these niggas.
And Kanye is their father.
Okay. So when people get online, you know, they get in their little funky camps, their little bayhives. Because niggas started creating their beehives after the Bayhive came into fruition. The Future Hive, the Kanye Hive, the Cole Hive, the Cudi Hive, the Drake Hive.
Because Drake was smart. I like what happened because he was into a lot of the feminine space. And he's a merger of Kanye, and his mother is Beyonce. It's Kanye and Beyonce. So it got brought over to the hip hop space because you had the Drake stands and you had the Future stands that kept going on and on. Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I just sitting there, look, I'm just being honest with you as I remembered it. Okay, All of these niggas were backpack rappers, and they still are. Like I said, Drake's the glam backpack nigga.
What do you think about
Big Sean?
The creator 54 Cent Pharrell is low-key the true father.
Pharrell?
Yeah.
If you're talking about a style and sound.
Yeah, I said no.
But lyrically,
Pharrell's the cousin. He's not the father. They're directly influenced by Kanye.
They're directly influenced by Kanye and aspects of other people, but Kanye is their father. Stop it. Let's not bring in Pharrell with all his chemical peel face. We're not talking about skateboarding in that manner.
And we're not saying Pharrell is whack.
We're not saying he's
Dope
whack.
ass music. Pharrell is a musical genius, but we're focusing on these guys' fathers.
Hidden Figures is one of my favorite soundtracks. Shouts out to Eli Walker. Jay-Z wrote Allure for Lupe wrote Allure for Jay-Z. I don't know. We appreciate supporters. Lupe's pen game is ridiculous.
Financial backers and the crackers. You know what I'm talking about?
So, and look, you all, there's a lot of niggas that didn't make the cut. Charles Hamilton, anyone?
Yeah, a lot of personal issues.
There's a lot of niggas that dropped off. These niggas lasted. I think, to be honest,
can I even say the number?
People that was even making fun of Wale, that look, y'all, he's still in a great space compared to where he started out.
There were 20 of them. And like you said, you're missing. We put Kate out up there too, but it was like 20 dudes, and it got dwindled down. Wow, it got dwindled down to only 3. And then, and with Big Sean still hanging on.
And some of them were popping late. Nipsey popped late, but he got killed. So again, a lot of people they keep, it's Drake and Kanye. It's Sean versus Drake. Also, and around the time when these niggas start dissing each other, because all of them were trying to find their voices. Drake was influenced by Kid Cudi, where he's like, you know what, I should harmonize. And also he did enjoy Big Sean's flow, but Big Sean also started paying attention to the hit making power of Drake.
Well, also I wanted to say too that they bring up some of the white boys as well, like Asher Roth and what's the one who died of the drug?
Mac Miller.
Yeah, I guess you could say they were part of.
They were part of the class.
I would say more so.
They was down
Mac
with
Miller.
It's from the Cool Boy era.
Yeah, Mac Miller was one of the 20.
Yeah.
That were a part of that. You know. That didn't make it.
No, you're right about that.
For other reasons.
Folks, mind you, even though we're saying what we're saying, it's not like just by year basis. You can say this is their alumni class. But you think generationally, Wiz Khalifa, Pac Div, you think Lupe Fiasco, Currency, like
Wiz Khalifa, that's true. He was in there at one point.
Right, and you look, folks, not trying to be funny, but what we talked about yesterday, you got to think about how far this motherfucker Drake has come. Like, bitch Sean had to go through like all types of forms of therapy to accept where he is now at this point. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think he makes beautiful music right now.
I think Big Sean is successful too. We also gotta, it's like what Dave Chappelle said, you have to, based off of the advice his father told him, like what is success to you? What level is making it? And Dave Chappelle said, if I can make a good living and still do what I love, comedy, then I'm successful. So Big Sean is successful. Sometimes people like to pick on people and try to be cute because they may not be on the same level as a Drake or someone else, but he is successful versus some of them that we're talking about who have not made it.
Exactly.
They did not make it.
Exactly, and that's the point, people. That's the point, and that's the whole thing about Big Sean's music. That's why I think his music is very important. The anxiety of success, and what happens when you don't meet a quote-unquote stat that is more celebrated by the public than what you truly feel internalized, right?
Oh, they're bringing out bangs as well.
Yeah,
fake Drake. Yellow Wolf. They talking about Yellow Wolf.
Let's see here. Let's go into this real quick. Pull up all these niggas. Look at that. You had Wale, B.O.B., Charles Hampton.
Wait, B.O.B. was huge when he came out his solo tip.
He was an Andre 3 Stacks baby.
It was right at one time.
You had Corey Guns.
B.O.B. and Kid Cudi both look, and Wale, them 3 dudes in particular, They look like they was gonna take over the whole game at one point.
There you go. That's what I said. It's the dynamics.
B.O.B. is mad. Remember when he went on that rant say he should never listen to the advice of niggas?
And he shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have. Nigga, you should have kept rapping with that fucking guitar in your hand, talking about Cloud 9. I'm on Cloud 9.
Sometimes you can't
with a proud mind.
You can't take other people's advice. Look at what's going on with the Drake and Kanye situation. Like,
if I was B.O.B.
should never listen.
I would have flagged that nigga down, Andre, and his flute in Atlanta. Can I talk to you, sir? But look at this class. You had Ace Hood, Currency. You had Blue.
Oh yeah, Blue
was my nigga.
But he has allegedly mental illness.
He just dropped a nice track recently with guess who's standing next to Blue? Mickey Fax. People forgot about Mickey Fax. Corey Guns.
Blue music was so atmospheric and beautiful.
No disrespect to the source era hip hop hits. I mean, you know your thing was like 96, 97, and you feel everything. When we talk, this is why we are narrating Drake in the manner that we're doing it right now. Y'all gotta understand. Look at the crop that they came through.
Childish Gambino too.
Yeah, like come on, y'all.
Yeah, it's like. As a matter of fact, we bump it up from 20 to it's like 35 of them niggas.
It was. You gotta count from, honestly, to be real with you, you really gotta count from 07 to 13, and that's being fair. So when we talk about where we see Drake rolling around right now with this Conan sword, where he's like, am I gonna take this nigga Kanye's head off, or how am I going to do it? That's the Game of Thrones right there, people. Because all of these guys had to find. Ash Sharaf had to say, I should have never fucking listened to these bitches in the industry. They wanted me to be Eminem. B.O.B. came, I shouldn't have listened to these. Charles Hamilton said it. Wale said he shouldn't have listened to bitches in the industry. When Wale went over to MMG, guess what happened? They didn't know how to market him at a certain point.
Well, at first, he was doing good on there. Because he was just doing his own thing and blending some of the other stuff with what his core is.
He was.
After a while,
they wanted him to be a hit maker.
I think they got too focused on Meek Mill.
Well, Ace Hood will tell you about that.
And then with B.O.B., he shouldn't have listened to T.I. and some of them other people. Like, the nigga went. I'm not saying he broke, but he seemed like he's having really hard times right now.
Okay. So, to be honest with y'all, look, it's a long way. It's not just class 09. You can go there to highlight certain artists, but you really got to count like 07, 08 to 13. And you see where those people are and where they are now. Wale seems to be in a more comfortable place. I seen Kid Cudi interview on Apple Music. He seems to be in a comfortable place. We heard what happened with Charles Hamilton. Asher Roth is still rapping. He got a track with Mickey Fax and Blue that he did his thing on. Ace Hood is in a comfortable place. You saw his interview with Drink Champs. Currency was able to amass a very nice underground cult weed head following.
And I also want to say this. Meek only outshined eventually Wale is because they didn't know that they had a energy that was similar to Drake, and I think it is because of him being dark skinned. And this is what I mean by that. Wale and Drake are both hyper emotional and sensitive dudes who have a very vulnerable music, and Wale was going on a high where I think he could have easily been a crossover artist, but MMG, they don't think like that when it comes to the music. They even Rick Ross at first was trying to those slugs at Drake before he buddied up with Drake again. So like people just didn't understand Wale. Wale could have been a crossover just like Kanye, just like Drake, but I don't know, he had a weird energy of people around him that they didn't get that he could have been a superstar too.
My personal opinion about Wale, and it's something I saw. I think to go into further what Sin is talking about with colorism, and this does pertain to men, black men, I think they felt because of the type of music that Wale was making and the complexion he should have been making more bouncier, snappier music. They actually tried to.
Even said he should have been light skinned.
Yeah, because
light skinned music. What the fuck is that?
And Drake got a chance as a light skinned male. he got a chance to jump into ratchet space and talk about club booty music and then go conscious and talk about his heart chakra and talk about his first breakup at 10 years old. Wale was doing the same fucking shit.
He was doing it first.
He did it first, and people got on Wale because he was black, dark skinned, and he was tied to MMG, which they had niggas over there like Peel, Meek Mill. So
and that nigga with that dirty
right. So that's
gunplay. Something
yeah,
like
and that's where I felt the colorism came in with Wale, because the type of music he was making, they didn't approve of, because he was a dark-skinned black male that was in touch with his emotions publicly, and he was on a quote-unquote a nigga rap label.
And to me, I don't see this is not nothing against Drake, because Drake did not do that. He didn't exploit it. He didn't do nothing until Wale.
Him.
It's just the black people in Wale's camp and the industry. They played
Wale.
They played him just like Big Crit got played, because Big Crit was supposed to be another one, but he got played by Def Jam.
Right.
It's a lot of niggas to talk about.
Well, even going back to the Wale thing, they felt Wale should have been making more gangster leaning music, or at least gangster conscious leaning music, kind of like Compton rapper Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has a lot of emotions. He's an emotional rapper. He's a very sensitive rapper, but he raps also about how he viewed the world of violence around him and his participation in it at times reluctantly. But Wale wasn't doing none of that. So they didn't know how to market Wale. And so they put him on the no hand shit, and they felt they was going to try to go with that. And Wale at a certain point, he wanted to go back to the shit that he really liked rapping about. But he said himself, he had accumulated these new fans too, so he didn't know where to go with his next album, because he had to think about the new fans he acquired over at MMG, his old fans that followed him from the underground, and then what the record label fucking wanted. So that's really what kept happening to Wale in his career. But as you can see, even here, like Sim brought up with Big Crit, terrific artist. We saw what happened there. You see YG was able to survive because, you know, he went and did his thing. FathrGodSun, who unfortunately had passed from COVID last year. You had is that Yellow Wolf up there? Look, I mean, and then Diggy fucking Simmons. Oh my God.
He wasn't a bad rapper though, but I agree that is still funny though.
It was funny when he went after J. Cole. Remember that, y'all? He dissed J. Cole.
No, because he's like, and good on him. And J. Cole, like a bitch as usual, backs down from anybody. But yeah, he defended his sister.
You know what I did tell Sin though, when J. Cole was, you know, dissing Kanye, and Kanye really didn't even give a fuck. He didn't even really respond. But when J. Cole went after Wale, I thought that was interesting. I said, because I'm just saying, if his confidence level was at a certain point, I felt Wale would have torched the shit out of Cole.
Well,
I feel as a trained MC, Wale is a much better technically skilled MC than Cole. Controversial, I know y'all feel, you know, Cole makes better artistic music, but I think as an MC, I think Wale would have. I think if he would have responded, probably he would have handled Cole on that mic.
I think anytime somebody makes music towards women or vulnerable, they say the person's pandering.
Oh, what are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about with Wale and them. Look, I think that if you was making that music before you became big, you're not pandering. You just became a corporate conglomerate. That's the only difference. So, like for example, Drake was crying about his emotions in the backpack way and still talking about girls before he became big. So therefore, that part of him is genuine. Wale, before he became big, was talking about his vulnerabilities and his emotions. So he wasn't pandering when he does that. That's just who they are. Actually, is when they're selling certain products and stuff that they don't believe in, which, like, you know, Drake does a lot. To make their bag, that's pandering. But when Wale said he was a male feminist, whether you agree with that or not, he's not lying. So I do think that people gotta stop not knowing the difference between what a person core is and mixing that with pandering. It's like, that's what he is. Like you gotta listen to the music they were doing when they were broke. If I'm crying about Tanisha before I become before I get into the industry, then 9 times out of 10, you know, that's basically what I like to rap about.
Well, if you think about it too, The reason why I always say it, and Sin can attest to this, I did stand up for Wale. I says, well, look, he does some silly stuff, but he shouldn't be on MMG #1. That's what I felt. It's like when I saw Big Crit go to Def Jam, I was like, oh shit. Damn. Been following this nigga from the beginning. Same thing with Wale. I was fucking with Wale's mixtapes. I still think a mixtape about nothing is a classic mixtape. But also keep in mind, before even Kendrick comes along with his To Pimp a Butterfly, Wale was already addressing colorism in hip hop when he first came out. Like openly, even that he got pushed back from other rappers. They were saying, man, shut the fuck up. So I'm not trying to be funny. I know it's like, it's fucked up, but kind of like the shit that like niggas like Wale and Lupe and all them niggas took bullets for, that like Cole was able to slide on through with a wig on.
And don't get me wrong, I do understand. I appreciate actually Wale and Cole and the guys who are vulnerable.
Absolutely.
I mean, not Cole's getting annoying. Drake and Wale, I appreciate that. But it still is funny when people call them bad bitches. We call them bad bitches too because they are sassy. And
you sassy. If you raised by a black mother, you sassy. Niggas. I hate to keep when niggas always say to bad. Hey, if you was raised by a black mother, you got sassy.
Even guys who be talk about how women are hypocrites, like, cause I think Kevin Samuels act like a bad bitch, sassy a lot of times.
He acts like somebody's auntie.
So he acts like an auntie.
The auntie that's stuck up, that got 5 degrees.
And sometimes you don't have to be overly effeminate male to be that. You could be Pusha T is very gossipy.
Very fucking sassy.
He's very
that
fucking sassy.
Goddamn braids of sass. Braided sass. That hair is braided sass.
If you know, you know.
Layer by layer.
If you know, you know. Like Pusha T is very fucking sassy.
If you ask your auntie, hey aunt, how do I cut this onion? Layer by layer. Sassy ass nigga.
Auntie Push.
Layer by layer. I said, oh my fucking God, this is what we're doing. It was funny, but I said it was some gossiping shit. That's why, like, black men, we gotta become like niggas. I got a fucking bunch of sass that y'all think is funny, but that came from my mother.
Prince humor does come from his mother. His mother is very a razor sharp tongue. Woman could have been a comedian.
I remember the first time and the only time my mother saw Pusha T, she said, why that grown nigga got them braids in his hair?
Them braids been in his hair for over 20 years.
How much dandruff is in there? Layer by layer. I wish Drake would have paid me to ghostwrite some shit for Push. That'd be the hardest diss record in hip hop.
Also, Eli, don't we appreciate? He said Pusha T.
Support us. Financial backers and the crackers. You know what I'm talking about?
It makes sense. You have to realize when men are in a civilized society, they engage in more feminine energy. It doesn't have to do with what your sexual orientation is. It just talks about like you are able to engage in more of the softer things in society. When it's a more warring society, you know, like in some ancient cultures, you know, because men didn't, you know, have the time to, you know, partake in these things and stay more so with their moms, you know, they weren't able to really partake in some of these things. But, you know, and again, a civilized society, you're gonna get, you know, a lot of sass, and that's fine.
It's cool. It is what it is. You just have to be comfortable. And I do feel as men, we need to accept the attributes, the healthy and funny attributes. A lot of the shit that we got from our mothers, our ladies find attractive.
That is true.
You know, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, look at the nigga, y'all favorite nigga of all time. The nigga god of all niggas is Tupac. That's a sassy nigga though.
Yeah, like I like Prince humor comes from his mother, and I really like that. I think that's very attractive.
Okay, and it's not nothing. It's thank you, Sin. I appreciate it. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. But it's nothing. It's look. That's why I'm not trying to be funny. This is why you see some niggas when they try to drag a black woman publicly, they ended up getting cooked. Because I'm not trying to be funny. I feel still historically the best roasters are black women. Azalea Banks will tell you that. She may be burying cats in the yard.
How Kaya buried
Come on, Kaya, Azalea Banks. I mean, you can go down the list. There's a lot of them that yo mama when she cursing the waitress out. Or y'all ever seen them videos with them black girls cursing them white women out? And them white women like, what the fuck did I just hear?
Tyson also said Pac was modeling in a tub full of milk. He was, yeah.
Hey, come on, man. God bless his dad, but Tupac was a sassy nigga. And hit him up. Everything he did just had a bunch of sass and elegance. Ratchet elegance, too. So, anyway, it's all good, though. It's still funny. But as you all can see, the story is deep. And look, Pusha T ain't on none of them album covers. He ain't on none of them because Pusha T needed that. And I love Infrared. It's a very beautifully, cryptically written record.
I like it.
It's
even the T in that one was like, it was really good though, how he was just like, he was poetic with that T that when he was trying to break down Lil Wayne and Drake on Infrared. It was a great instrument. Kanye gave him a good instrumental that day.
Yeah, I said Pusha T because it hit me one day. I said, yo, this nigga's always gossiping.
Right. Also, I don't think Pac was moist by being in a tub with milk. If a guy feels he's attractive and he likes photography and he wants to be in a magazine or whatever for women and some guys that thirst over him, whatever. But Kaya she's a savage. Her shit is funny as fuck.
Yeah, cause come on, man. That's why a lot of times when I see dudes be arguing in the streets with their women, and then once she's had enough of you, and she goes off, there's nothing you can do there. Just walk away. That's all you gotta do. Layer by layer. That's it. So, as you can see, I don't know I can't remember what year this was.
I'm sorry, that little black square space is bothering me.
Look at this.
Thank you.
Put it in the middle.
Yeah.
There you go. Look what they said at the bottom. Nicki and Drake's domination.
Obama.
I told people about that. They put that Obama face on him.
Also, just to let
face swapping Obama.
The creator said, but the photographer was gay. 99% of the photographers are gay when they take pictures of.
Except Nigel from Top Model.
Right, except for him. He was hitting on the ladies.
I was like, what? Nigel, what?
Drake did look old when he first came out. I don't know what weird thing they was doing in the photos. Like, he started to be more attractive when the Take Care album came out. When he grew his hair out and stuff like that.
That was Drake Obama.
But yeah, when he first came out, it was too much of. I feel like they were trying to edit him to look like Obama, like what Prince brought out before. You know, it looked weird.
Somebody called me crazy. They said, I don't see it. I just look at the eyes. And right around this time, Drake and Obama got their run publicly. Since Drake outlasted Obama. So, but look, I mean, they were kind of already, again, there was a bidding war for Drake. Nicki, there was some scrapping she really had to do to get in her position.
Yeah, she had to even go to the South.
There you go. She really had to get it. But,
with
but when Drake,
some other,
no, go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, just with Gucci Mane, Soulja Boy, she did the Southern Circuit. It helped her.
Yeah, you're right. But there was a bidding war for this nigga back here. So, it is what it is. Sin, I mean, we actually went back in time. We gave a history lesson for our generation.
Time travel. Also, shout out to King Hebrew who said we had classic live streams. I appreciate it.
Whoa, thank you, King Hebrew.
Hopefully YouTube won't delete them. For people who are saying why we talk on other subjects, first of all, we do love to touch on other subjects, and we love our hip hop comedy. Remember, dark comedy is also hip hop and comedy. So if you're coming here and like, why y'all doing hip hop live streams? Cause guys, that's what we started off as. Number one.
It's been a part of our banner: hip hop, comedy, politics.
Now the politics part is getting tricky because our live streams are getting deleted by YouTube. So
when we be touching on some stuff,
and that's pissing me off because I hope we have all those fucking live streams saved.
Oh, I got them backed up.
So, but
back it on up like a U-Haul truck.
Yeah,
back it on up like a U-Haul truck.
So it fucking irritates me. So I'm sorry, but our political stuff will have to be on our Patreon.
Yes.
And we'll find another streaming platform to do politics because I nothing is worse than you doing all that fucking work and having some pretty funny jokes, all for it to be all fucking deleted.
All into the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, cause demonetized, fine. Who cares? You don't make money off the video, great, but you know you still had creative fun. But to get it deleted is annoying.
That's some new shit.
Yes.
That's some new shit. All right, but yeah, I'm looking at some of this old shit from 2010 while Sin is talking. I'm like, man, boy, ain't that something? Whole nother time, right? Ooh-wee. But yeah. So you know, people talking. First of all, a lot of people, they do enjoy us doing the hip hop shit. So you know, can't cut it out, shawty. It's part of our brand. But I guess overall for the Kanye West and 3 Stacks feature, it's a classic, beautiful. I know when I had a chance to really sit down and absorb it, something like this, saying, you know, I kind of got to slow down and really absorb it completely. But I will say it's a beautiful track, and it did remind me. It reminded me of a time. I don't know. I just felt Kanye West, a lot of his energy growing up, it just represented a lot of creative ambition. You know what I'm saying? So. Oh,
also shout out, yeah, you right. Waka Flocka as well. His mother did help Nicki, and people do forget that woman did a lot for a lot of black people in the industry.
Oh yeah, shouts out to Waka. You know, he really solid. Got a chance to chop it up with him. He's you know.
He seems like a really good guy.
Yeah, he does. He's actually you know, just kind of a down earth dude. I guess just raising his kids now. You know, but he is very honest. He said, "Look, man, I know I was a bad rapper. You know, at least he was honest about it." I think the different era with the Pumps and all them, they actually try to assert themselves in respectable hip hop spaces aggressively. But this called trolling anyway. But yeah, Waka Flocka's mother, Debbie, yeah, she actually did a lot of work. She's really responsible for that whole era, that 2010 era. That 08-10 era where all these niggas kind of get started off on. She actually is one of the major key makers of that space. So
yeah,
a lot of
I mean,
stuff.
I know first name, last name. You said that she stole money from it. Anything could be possible, but I do know that them contracts she signed with them people were able to get off easily. You know, you have industry people who rip people off and sign them to like a fucking 10-year deal or life deal when it comes to their music. With Dev, all those artists was able to leave. Gucci Mane was able to leave easily. Nicki was, and so on and so forth. A lot of people was able to move on and do their own thing. So I still give her credit to that because, again, a lot of these major corporations, like they sign you on a lifetime deal. Look at Kanye still trying to get his shit back, you know, with his masters. Nonetheless, though, it's not a good idea to be stealing from artists. You know, people. I sometimes I just think it's not good business where everything is going. Anyway, I think people should definitely pay people. First name, last name, say yeah because they had proof she was embezzling them from them, and she didn't want to go to jail. Oh, okay, well if it's true, it's true then. It's true then. But overall, we appreciate y'all for enjoying this stream and hanging out with us. Let us know what you think about the track Life of the Party. And also, Prince, do you have any last words before we go out?
No, that's it. I think you know, we did pretty good.
Daddy's home.
This is America.
All right. Well, it smells good in here.
I'm gonna have a Lover Girl album coming out.
That'll be hot.
Sit your $5 ass down.
But yours would probably be instead of girls. What is the song called? Girls. But I bet a revolutionary version. Not that I would want to see or hear, but I still would like to see the reaction of people. If boys want boys.
Lil Nas X, you know, gonna do a troll one of that already. He may even take that idea. Yeah, you're right about that, man. You know, but everybody, they crying about Lil Nas X. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Mine will be boy, girls.
Boy, girls. Go ahead, Sin.
Well, stones if you live in a glass house. And if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth.
Thank you all wonderful people who decided to listen in to us today. You can always replay this stream. We just under the 2-hour mark, folks, and we try to keep it at that, anywhere from 1.5 hours to 2. So you at least can go back and enjoy this while you either gonna have to go to work or after you have sex or while you're doing having sex. Don't matter to me as long as you listen. So
Black man taking no loss.
I will be waiting for Kendrick Lamar's album. You all let us pray and manifest that there's a brilliant collaboration between 3 Stacks and Kendrick. I would love to see that with a surprise appearance by Big Boy.
But Black Dynamite.
All right, folks, y'all
I
enjoy
sell
yourselves,
drugs to the
have fun, be thankful. There are no bad experience, people. You're just supposed to learn from the lessons. Peace.
To this day. To this day.
Turn your back on me. Got a challenge.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?
Sit your $5 ass down before I make